We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for being here and welcome everyone to the MMSD Central Office. I want to thank you for coming today. We have a lot of information to get to, but before we do that, I want to take a moment to thank all of our news media, not only for coming, but for your partnership as we recognize the very important role you play in providing our community accurate and important information. I also want to thank the MMSD team who have worked so hard to plan, coordinate, collaborate, and prepare our district's comprehensive response to the unprecedented challenge that coronavirus, COVID-19, has presented to us in all school districts across the state and country. This team has worked very hard, closely with the Board of Education, to plan and prepare the district response to coronavirus, to keep our students, families, and staff safe. The board is very proud of their work as MMSD has been a leader among districts across Wisconsin in how they are responding to this. I'm also grateful to our Board of Education, who our members are so closely aligned and connected to our community to continue to share information and get hear concerns and provide information to our communities. Before I introduce Superintendent Jane Belmore, I want to point out that we have several MMSD administrators who are in the room to support us in providing with the best answers and information possible moving forward. Superintendent Belmore will make comments on some important decisions that have been made recently. And then we will open it up for questions and answers for 10 minutes. And that will conclude the press conference. With that, I would like to introduce MMSD Superintendent Jane Belmore.
Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you all for coming today. We have a lot of fast-breaking information for you today. As Gloria mentioned, MMSD and its COVID-19 response team has been working extremely hard the last couple of weeks. We've been working in close collaboration with a great number of people. Public Health Madison and Dane County Emergency Management, the Dane County Executive's Office, the City of Madison's Mayor's Office, Governor Evers' Office, the Department of Public Instruction, Madison community organizations, and many of our neighboring school districts, as well as the 5 largest school districts in Wisconsin. We've been working to really collaborate on how to best address this place that none of us have ever been before. So it's been time for us to really be innovative, as well as putting our students and our families always at the center of what we are making decisions about. So over the last few weeks, we've been monitoring the spread of COVID-19 and adjusting the district's plan as the virus has evolved. School districts across the country, as you know, have been grappling with unprecedented challenges and conditions that the COVID-19 virus presents. School administrators have had to make incredibly hard decisions. Incredibly hard because we know that they truly impact every aspect of our community. These are decisions that we do not and we cannot take lightly. Ultimately, as superintendent, I am responsible for the safety and well-being of our 27,000 students, their families, and roughly 5,000 staff members in MMSD. An approach that includes taking responsive action only when we have a confirmed case in one of our schools was becoming more untenable in my position. It would have been action that would be far too late. MMSD has been looking at ways to close schools in a manner that gives family and community members as much lead time as possible to make necessary arrangements. We had been planning to rearrange our school calendar, taking some additional professional development staff-only days and moving our spring break week a week earlier. And that is what I had planned to talk with you about today. But as no surprise, the landscape is continually changing. We were just informed a few minutes ago that Governor Evers' office has elected to close schools after Wednesday, March 18th. And schools will remain closed after March 19th until April 6th. So this was essentially the plan that we were going to share with you, and it still, we think, is a very good plan, and we're so appreciative of the governor for stepping up with this plan. It allows us Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to work with our families. I'm sorry, I think it is after Wednesday, March 18th that we're closed. Is it March 18th? Okay.
Closure starts after next Wednesday.
We'll begin on Wednesday, March 18th.
Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, thank you all for keeping us all updated. So it will begin March 18th, which is Wednesday, and will remain closed April 6th, until April 6th. So at this point, we are knowing that it's very important for families to understand that when school is closed, we will not have required academic instruction. We will, however, provide books, packets, and enrichment opportunities for all students at every grade level. We will also have a variety of free online resources that will be shared with students and families that can be utilized while our students are at home. At this time, I also wanted to say, is this where I'm going to say that we can get free Wi-Fi? Okay. Spectrum has offered to supply free access to internet for families for 60 days, and I think this is a nationwide offer, so we'll be working to try to take advantage of that. So we'll have a variety of free online resources to share with students and families. At this time, employees will be paid in line with our employee handbook. Further decisions will be made as we move along and more information becomes available. School social workers, psychologists, counselors, nurses, and PBS coaches have guidance and resources for supporting both students and staff through this stressful and uncertain time. We recognize the surreal circumstances and the impact that these circumstances are having on all of us. We encourage our students to continue to find and create moments of familiarity and maintain other routines as much as possible, including communicating with families and staying active. Thank you so much for giving me your time. We're going to open it up for about 10 minutes of questions. I will answer what I know, but as you see, I'm already referring to many of the fine administrators and board members in this room who can also help me answer those questions. So what questions do you have?
I think the first one that comes to mind is a lot of students rely on school for meals.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to be helping them in that regard?
Yes, and there are a number of key places where we've already been doing some major planning, and certainly that is one of them. And I'm looking to Chad, who is here, our Building Services Executive Director.
So we do have a plan in place for this already, very similar to what we do during summer. So we've identified 10 sites around the district geographically that we will have food drops on a daily basis, both lunch and breakfast. And we have that plan put together and ready to go.
Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, he didn't have his hand up.
Hi there. So if there's no mandatory instruction then for this period, I guess what happens to the missed class time? Is that something that you'll make up later? Is it just moot at this point, do you know?
Well, we certainly want to have enrichment activities for kids going on. At this point, we really don't have a definitive answer about that because part of it just really depends upon how long this goes on and, what happens with that.
April 6th at school resume.
That's an estimate
So it could be
from,
before
from the governor. No. I think he's clear it will be April 6th.
Okay, so not going to start before then.
Right.
It might be afterwards.
Lisa, did you want to say anything else about curriculum. I think that we're just going to have to address that as time goes by.
Does the district have a plan for those who rely on schools for childcare?
Those who rely on schools for childcare. We have not planned that out, but I have a meeting over the weekend with the mayor's office and some other community organizations, and I know that that's a real concern of everybody. So we'll hopefully be trying to figure out ways to go with that and things we can recommend to families. Other questions?
Is this an unprecedented closure?
Yes, I would have to say it is. Let's try to. There's one more. You have your hand? Oh, okay. I'm just trying to get around to people who haven't had a question.
You mentioned that your original plan was to move spring break, and then obviously this news happens. Did Governor Evers indicate, how he would kind of work with school districts to make this possible, and maybe even some smaller districts? I'm sure on the conference call that you're on, there's a lot of questions for him.
There were a lot of questions, and he certainly recognizes that smaller school districts have issues that larger school districts don't have, and vice versa. So I think his office is being very sensitive to that, as is the Department of Public Instruction. So they're working very closely with district superintendents to answer the questions that they have based on what their different needs are. Back there?
Just as this continues to develop, if someone out there finds out that a child at one of their schools or a faculty member at one of their child's schools ends up having the coronavirus, are you guys recommending any sort of quarantine or self-isolation at that point?
So all of that information will come through the Public Health Department, Dane County, Madison Public Health, and they have extensive planning around that. So we will really rely on them to support us with that, and they've been doing a great job.
And there hasn't been you don't know of any staff or students that have...
I do not know of that at this point.
You've been doing this for a long time. Are you really concerned about the mental state of students and your employees?
We always want to be sure that we're supporting our students and employees in terms of their social and emotional health. We have extensive resources in our district for that at this point, and we'll just be pulling on those resources as we need to. So, of course, we want to be concerned with that. Scott?
Madison teachers had expressed a concern about hourly and support staff not receiving pay during a break. Where are those discussions at, and is that something the district is considering finding a solution?
We will be having those discussions. Not sure where we are now. Again, not sure where this bigger picture is going to go, and that there are things that could play into that. So we're keeping that on our radar screen for sure.
Has there been any discussion at this point about extending the school year into the summer? If we could go, past April 6th in the middle of April, maybe doing teaching into June and July this month?
Well, so typically, when we have snow days, we have requirements to make up instructional minutes, and we do, and we make arrangements for doing that. The particular challenge here is if it goes a long time, because it's easier to make up a few days than it is to make up a longer period of time. But we definitely will be working with that. And again, we just don't know what we're working with yet in terms of time.
Can you explain a little bit more about why instruction is not required? Is there technical difficulties in providing access for all 27,000 students?
There's technical difficulties. There's student-related instructional need difficulties. There are staff and family issues that we have to think about. So it's just we are providing opportunities that we hope families and children will take advantage of. And if it looks like we're going to be in this in an extended time, that may shift. That planning may shift and become much more technical.
Do teachers need to make up this time at some point?
Where's Deirdre? Is she here?
Yeah, it's the same about the question, teachers need to make up the time.
Yeah, so maybe instruction isn't necessarily mandated, but will teachers have to make this up somehow?
Yeah, so I think, again, it depends on how long this is going to go. Teachers have a specific contract, a certain number of contracted days, so if we're working beyond those contracted days, there may have to be discussions about that, but it really is dependent on how long we're going to be in this.
Thank you.
Any plans on canceling the school board meeting later this month, and how would that affect the memorandum?
Yes. So we still plan on having the school board meeting on the 23rd. We are trying to be really innovative and look outside the box on how to resolve the issue of having a lot of people in one room. So we will rely on technology to do some remote work, but we are really looking at all of our different options. But the referendum vote and a healthcare vote is very important, and we really want to try as much as we can to continue business. And so the 23rd is still on the agenda. We just have to really try to work out what those details are and what it looks like.
Scott?
Does this have any impact on state testing?
We have been in consultation with the Department of Public Instruction, and again, those dates are where they are. They're kind of set. There are a lot of things that we can apply for waivers for, and they're certainly in support of helping us work through that. So we're going to rely heavily on them.
With all this, just all the uncertainty going on right now, is there any message you have for parents or any guidance that you would give them for the next couple of weeks?
So we have been in close communication with our parents on an almost daily basis for the last week or so. And as part of what we provide them is a website with a lot of helpful pieces of helpful information. And so that's part of that. So we certainly are open and available to answer questions. Principals in schools have been given, some resources and talking points for parents. I mean, we know this is just going to be really hard for everybody. And I guess I just want to say, this has been a team effort. And I think it's really brought our community together in a way to say that we just have to put our families and our kids right at the center of this and do everything that we can that is best for them to support them. So we will definitely continue to be doing that as we work through this.
We have time for just a couple more questions.
Do you have any plans right now for major spring events like prom or graduation?
We haven't gotten that far yet, but definitely they're on our list. We got a lot of list of to-do of things to get to yet. So, and again, it could be that, things will be back as usual by that time, or it could not be. So then we'll just have to plan for that when we get to it. But thank you for that question.
Were there parents calling for schools to be closed?
In situations like this, there are always people wanting us to make certain decisions. And then, there are always people who have a different side of that. So we have some people who are urging us to do that. I'm sure now we'll have some people who are feeling that, we should try our best to stay open. And so we try to make the best decision that we can. Okay?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for coming.
So, is it possible to the location